Okay, welcome back, and we're happy to be joined now by Stanford head coach Jerod Haase. Jerod Haase. Make sure I get that right. Jaiden Delaire and Spencer Jones. And we'll go immediately to questions. Feel free to raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll go to Ben first.
Hi, Coach. Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Could you just talk about, I'm curious to get your thoughts on the freshman class you got coming in. You got 4 really interesting freshmen that could all bring a lot. Just talk about what you think those guys could all bring to the team this year.
Absolutely. It's an exciting group, as you said. It's quite a bit of variety as well. Jarvis Moss is a freshman from North Carolina that provides a ton of shooting, has really been impressive in terms of his work ethic and ability to learn. We've enjoyed having him around. Issa Silva, a guard from Sacramento, will share point guard responsibilities, really a player that helps blend the team together, really talented, just a phenomenal attitude. I've enjoyed him. Harrison Ingram from Dallas is certainly a highly ranked player, very, very talented. Again, kind of a theme of a player that makes everybody else better. An excellent passer, certainly can score, very complete player. And I think the guys have enjoyed playing with him. And then Maxime Renaud from France, and I think 7 feet barefoot, and has come in and really impressed everybody. Has a great attitude, really multidimensional, has the ability to shoot from the outside, but skilled enough and big enough to score on the inside as well. So some variety in the class, continues with our theme on our team of some versatility, but all of them have been a really welcome addition and fit in really well.
Any other questions? Ben, you got a follow-up? Yeah, we'll go back to Ben.
I'm just seeing if anyone's going to ask other questions. I don't want to be the only one up here. Question for both the players. Can you guys just talk about just kind of key areas of your game that you've worked on this offseason ready for this year?
So I've worked on a little bit of everything. I've taken my job in the weight room pretty seriously. Feel like I've gotten a little bit stronger, more flexible, a little bit faster, a little bit more explosive. And then from on the court, I just want to be a leader. I want to bring a voice to practice every day, as well as my shooting is something that I honed in on a lot this offseason. Just trying to step into every shot, be ready on the catch, and just get reps up.
In terms of my game, shooting first, I mean, I'm always trying to improve that, quicker release, a little bit more range. Outside of that, definitely trying to create for myself a little bit more, make my own space, just in case, if I need to get that shot up, I won't always need to rely on, a great pass or a great play from another teammate, try to play make on my own.
We got one on the right, Troy.
Troy Clarity, Pac-12 Network. Spencer, kind of take us through the defensive mindset of this team and how critical it could be for the fortunes of the squad for this upcoming season.
I mean, if you play under Jerod Haase, defense is always going to be a main priority. So it has been, for my last 2 years. So I mean, it all starts with defense for us. Defense goes and defense makes our offense easier, puts less pressure on it, and it allows us to get in transition. So I mean, it's easy buckets. It helps us set the tone every game and gives us the energy we need to get the W.
We'll go back to Ben.
Yeah, I'm trying to ask you guys. I mean, can you guys talk just in general, kind of what kind of your kind of goals are for the season and what kind of expectations you guys have set for yourselves and obviously considering how deep the Pac-12 was last year and this year, and you guys did pretty well in that. Just kind of talk about maybe tournament hopes, goals. What are kind of your kind of vision for this year?
Tournament's always a goal, and we've been this close the last 2 years, so it's definitely another goal this year that we can very much achieve. Also, just being top of the conference, like, you know, top 5, just showing everybody that now that the Pac-12 is on a national stage, that we belong there as well. So.
Yeah, we're a team that never really wants to sell ourselves short. We're super hardworking, we're competitive, and we have the highest goals possible for each individually and as a team. Super exciting stuff. Yeah, that's all.
I'm disappointed in these guys because I did define the goals the first day of practice, and I made it very, very clear to them that it's pretty simple, and it's going to sound corny and that kind of thing. But that's okay. Our goal is simple. It's to be awesome, and it's to be awesome in the moment, be awesome with what we're doing, and I do think we have a chance to be really good and do some neat things. But literally, when we go into practice, we don't need to worry about tomorrow or yesterday. It's be in the moment and be awesome in every drill, be awesome in every practice, and then the other things are going to take care of themselves, we really believe.
Go to, on the right, or, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Janie.
It's okay. Okay. Hi, you guys. Janie McCauley from Associated Press. Spent a little time with Jerod recently, and talked about recruiting. And when you guys took your recruiting trips, did you get to go see a professor in another field, or go to the School of Medicine, or do something unique that really only Stanford student athletes can do? Well, others could do, but it's pretty unique for Stanford and getting to have those opportunities.
Yeah, we did. On our recruiting visit, I know mine, I got a chance to meet Dr. Longacre. He's a stem cell researcher at Stanford, and it was really cool. We had interesting conversations about what I can do at Stanford outside of basketball, not only in like his field, but like some of the other stuff. And he just gave me some really good advice on how I should manage my time and who I should talk to.
Yeah, no, I met with the same person, and it was great. I talked, sat down, talked for an hour, just about, like JD said, the possibilities here. Where, you're right in the middle of the beautiful engineering quad. Like you're just looking at, like, I could really take classes here. You're walking by, seeing all the students in, little lab coats, like, working on stuff, like really just like, making something of their opportunity and something that could really like change the world and all that. So.
Is that overwhelming? You're sitting here with a medical expert who is changing cancer research, all kinds of research.
It's definitely overwhelming from the outside, but once you're inside, once you get to know the people around you, you're like, I mean, they're really just like you. I mean, but obviously, they're definitely special in their own ways, and it's just finding your way within that, But like from the outside, definitely. But once you're in there, I mean, you find your place.
We'll go on the right to Rocco.
Hey, Coach Haase, Rocco Miller with Brackets.org. Obviously the last 2 years, amazing non-conference resume, and then late in February, early March, just the wheels fell off a little bit. Are you as a staff, or you yourself and your staff, going to take a little bit of different approach as you get into what we call the dog days of conference play to try to get in front of that for the upcoming run, knowing that you'll probably be right back in the middle of the pack again?
Well, we don't know where we'll be, at that point. Our approach always evolves over time. A couple years ago when COVID hit, I believe our net was somewhere between 29 and 32 range, which no team had ever actually been left out of the NCAA tournament with that. So I don't buy the argument that the wheels fell off or anything like that. I think we were in position a couple years ago if the tournament did happen. This past year, I think we had a really special group put together in terms of talent. We did have our challenges, and those have been well documented. We did fizzle out a little bit late. I would say that I've reflected back on the season, reflected back on the situation, and we'll make adjustments when I think it's necessary. I think the guys would agree, and they may not, in terms of one of, I believe, my greatest strengths as a coach is remembering what it was like to be a player. I take a great deal of pride in asking them, maybe not every day, but a lot of days, of how their bodies are feeling, how their minds are, where are we at. I tend to think we're fresh mentally and physically, but to be honest with you, last year did take its toll on us collectively as a group. So The answer is yes. We're going to continue to evaluate and try and put ourselves in the best position we possibly can. I do take pride in trying to make sure we have a balance of really working hard, balancing the academics, balancing all the stresses in their lives, knowing that we wanted to be our best in February and March. I think I did a nice job of that when I was at UAB as a head coach, and so I don't think it's a foreign language to me, but obviously a priority.
Go back to PJ.
PJ, Carlosimo, Pac-12 Networks. Guys, I got a double question for you, two different things. Talk about the jumps both of you made last year. I mean, most improved player and all the threes. I mean, big incremental jump from the previous year. And then talk to me about Santa Cruz versus Maples. Everybody had challenges last year, but what it was like dealing with what you guys dealt with last year. And forget excuses, just talk about the reality that you had to deal with.
From the point of just the jump, it's just, for me, it's just being more comfortable. You know, I got a year under college, now I got 2, so I'm just getting more and more comfortable, feeling myself more and more out on the court and just having more and more confidence. So that's just going to continue to grow, so I hope to make another big jump this year. In terms of Santa Cruz, it was different for sure. I mean, you know, you miss the fans, you miss being able to, you know, after a game or a practice, go hang out with some of your friends outside of the team and all that. And it's you know, definitely made you feel more isolated. But I mean, it also fostered an ability to just come together more as a team and just build up that chemistry. And because of that, our chemistry is at an all-time high this year. So.
Yeah, for me, as far as winning the most improved player in the conference, I'm super thankful to my teammates and my coaches. They're really confident in me and my abilities. I'm naturally confident in myself as well. So when I was given the opportunity, I'm glad that I was able to make the most of it. As far as staying in Santa Cruz, it was tough. We were away from our friends, away from that home feel. But for me personally, it allowed me to like focus in on basketball and practice and the simple things in class. We were doing class at the same time. And I just try to take it one day at a time, as I feel like we all did. And that helped me out a lot in being successful in what I had to do.
I'll jump in on one thing there. Is you know, last year you always get the question of what was the high or low of the season, and probably the moment that I was most proud of, and we had some big wins and had certainly some nice accomplishments. We had a 5 o'clock practice at a high school, and that's the only place we practiced. It was a high school about 30 minutes away. We had to fight traffic to be able to get there. It was a windy day in Santa Cruz, and the power was out. And we got to the gym at whatever time it was, let's just say 5 o'clock, and it was mostly dark in there, and we found a way to practice for 30 to 45 minutes. By the time we left, it was basically pitch black, and probably the best practice I've ever had. And the team was phenomenal. It was a situation where, a tough situation, we made the most of it to the nth degree. And it was kind of a, you know, the whole season kind of wrapped into one, challenges and try and take advantage of them. We didn't take advantage of all of them, but it was really cool to see these guys respond last year to those kind of situations.
Okay, we'll go back to Ben.
Yeah, I've had some fun asking the football players this question at Stanford, so you guys can get this question now. Just talk about the camaraderie that you guys have as Stanford student athletes across the board. And Coach, you can talk about, you know, as coaches across the board. It seems like at Stanford, you guys are especially a tight-knit group. I noticed there are a lot of people out at the women's volleyball game to start the year. Just kind of talk about the tight-knit group across Stanford among athletes and obviously coaches as well.
Yeah, Stanford's culture is unique, I feel like, compared to other colleges in the sense where our community is super together. Not only just our student athletes are together, but the students as well. When we go to Stanford, when we get there as freshmen, we're living in a situation where we don't know who our roommate is, and if we're an athlete, we're paired with a non-athlete or however so it'll work. And it's really cool. At first, a lot of people don't like it or whatever, but for the most part, the people that I've talked to, they have really strong standing relationships with those people. And that's something I really appreciate. Stanford is allowing me to experience that and and go through college meeting all these different young special individuals from all over the world. And yeah, I have Stanford to thank for that.
From a coaching side, I think, as we know, Stanford is unique and different. And I think for me and for the players on the team, I think we're unique and different in a lot of the same ways. And so it's a really nice fit. My neighborhood where I live is on campus, and there's 25 coaches approximately that live together. And, you know, some of my neighbors and good friends are Olympic coaches or national championship coaches, and it's really a neat deal. And a lot of times, I mean, multiple nights a week in our little outdoor area, you know, I'll have the guys over, and the next night it'll be the swimming team will be over there having a barbecue, and the next day it's going to be softball team. And there's definitely a sense of community, and it's an opportunity for the players to interact and get to know people, and then for the coaches as well. So it's very unique, very different, but it's part of who we are.
Okay, anything else? We've got one last question from Troy on the right.
Jaiden, the Pac-12 obviously coming off of its highest impact year in quite some time, it seems, and a lot of eyes are going to be on the conference's product. Where do you think Stanford stacks up amongst the rest of the Pac-12 at this point?
I mean, I feel like we can compete with anyone. Like you pair the guys in our locker room up with any team in the country, like we'll go out there and fight, and we'll be successful with what we have to do. There's no one team that's gonna take us out of our rhythm or out of our flow. So it's just super exciting. Our chemistry has grown since I've been a freshman. The team is never been closer, and everyone's bought in, everyone's listening, everyone wants to win, everyone is super engaged. So I'm just excited to see.
I'm going to jump in real quick, and I thought that was a fantastic answer, and I think that's the hardest question that anybody in college basketball can answer right now because of the number of new faces on every team. And I'm anxious and curious. I know it's going to be a great league, great coaches, lots of talent, but the way college basketball is evolving and changing from year to year, I think it's going to be hard to know in the preseason how things are going to turn out at the end.
Yeah. All right, that's all we have time for. Appreciate you guys being here, and best of luck this season.